Alright, so I thought I could pause and start the recording up again, so this is going to be a two-parter, because I was wrong. Here are my African gray parrots. And in here is our little shack where we throw parties, and it's under a very large lychee tree. It's been here about 20 years. It's a big tree. It gives fruit, but the front tree gives us so much fruit that we often don't pick from this one, and we usually let these go to waste, which I know tons of people on the forum are going to hate. This is my breadfruit tree, which I've been talking about a little bit. It was doing beautifully. The first year we had it, we could cover it, but then last year it was too big to cover, so we sort of experimented to see how it would do without being covered, and it got some serious dieback, as you can maybe see right there. And now it took all summer to just start growing back to where it is now. It lost all its leaves, so I don't know what to do. Still too tall to cover. I should have cut it back farther. So it might die. It might die for good this winter. Who knows? And my son Conyer is begging for attention. And on top of that is a loquat tree. They're all right. I don't really like them. My dad does, but that also produces a lot of fruit that mostly just feeds the ground, feeds the animals, feeds the birds. As you can see, this is my father's garden. It's mostly ornamental, mostly for shade. Although, because this was a fruit grove when we got it, there are fruit trees mixed in. So, sugar apple trees are here, but these aren't very good. We haven't taken very good care of them. A lot of them are declining, which we needed to put a little more maintenance in here than we've done lately, which is another factor. But we have 2.5 acres plus another 5. So as you can imagine, it's a lot of work. Here's another one of my dad's gardens, which also needs a lot of work, but it's mostly ornamental as well, and it just has the long and some bananas. This is another area that also needs a lot of work, but is what I'm working on currently. As you can see, here's where I keep all my seedlings, but winter is coming, so I am preparing to plant what I'm going to plant, and the rest is going to go in this greenhouse that we are constructing. The frame is done. I just need to get the material to cover it and put the material on. As you can see, it's pretty big. I plan to put on the sides here, on the sides of the greenhouse, my garcinias, because I'm hoping that the heat that will radiate from the greenhouse in the winter will help me keep them alive. But as you can see, this is needs a lot of work. But let me take you to, I forget what this is called. This is some Mexican fruit that you have to slice up. I'll look up the name. I'm sure Luke will tell the name when I post a video. There's also some Nispro tree in here, which my father planted too close to the sugar apple. Hog plum, the guayaba, one of these tropical peaches, which my father planted all of these, so do not judge how close they are together or how poorly designed this is, because I did not do the planting. Here are more rows of longans with some bamboos. This is the compost heap, which, as you can see, is taken over by various things that have sprouted out of the compost. Eventually I'm going to use this row to plant, but as of right now I'm just sort of letting nature do its thing and create as much topsoil as possible, and then at some point I'm going to have to come over with a bobcat, flatten it out, apply some mulch, and then plant into it. But for now it's just sort of wild. So here is the primary piece that I take care of. This is my main garden. So let's see, where to start. This is the Patina Mamey. Been in the ground, I think, 3 years now. It has a huge hole under it, so I'm surprised it hasn't grown more. This is a Gefner Atamoya. As you can see, it's a really big tree. Should probably trim it. This is my baby sugar apple. They're all the same variety, but this is the one I baby. As you can see, very big tree. I love this tree. Some seedlings of Nona reticulata here. I have two. This one, about 4 or 5 years ago, got a serious fungal infection. Almost died. And as you can see, there's a big hole in the tree, but I staked it up, and it's been holding on, so, you know, it fruits prolifically, so don't worry about it too much. Here's a mountain soursop, some citrus. All this underneath me is Cuban sweet potato and pumpkin vines that I sort of let grow and control the weeds and produce pumpkins and sweet potatoes for me. Here's an abuse that I just got from Noel. This is just a regular, I forget which orange it is, but it's an orange. This is a starfruit tree. It gives great starfruit. I don't know the cultivar name, but it always gets really yellow. Like once a year, it always gets terribly yellow, and then it'll grow and flower and be fine, but it always has this ugly face. My Lisa Atamoya, which I need to trim the sugar apple off of it. Maraca tree, in case anyone's never seen this. It's a cool tree, but they're not edible. At least I don't think they are. Sugar apple tree that I just seriously pruned back. Pitungaba, which is yellow for I don't know what reason, but it keeps growing, so I'm not too worried. I'm sure it'll grow out of it sooner or later. This is an Ilama. I have 2 in the ground, and I have a couple more in pots. My biggest problem with them is that the Brazilian skippers love the leaves, so they defoliate them all the time. If I miss I don't want to put too much chemicals on here, but it's the only way to keep them from eating the leaves. But you know, you forget sometimes. It rains a lot. They end up eating them. This is a seedling. The seeds were given to me as Shirimoya seeds, but I saw a picture of the fruit, so I'm pretty sure it's an Atamoya. I should have just stuck it in the ground and see how it grows and see what it gives. See if it gives anything actually. But I'll let you know in 2 or 3 years. This is Excalibur's red sugar apple. This is a San Pablo Nona reticulata. This is a red jaboticaba, which is a little chloritic. I'm not quite sure why either. They were doing great for a while, and then both my red jaboticaba and my Grimmel jaboticaba decided to get